I'm so glad that you are here, tuned in with us. This is Ladies Takeover Empowerment Podcast, where we're all about helping you to succeed and become the very best version of yourselves. I'm super excited because today is a special Mother's Day edition where we're going to have my girls, we're going to talk, we're going to chat, fun it up, and I want you to put your comments, questions in the chat box. We'll talk about some things. We're just gonna have fun. But anybody who knows me knows that I like to be blunt, be real. Let's talk about it. You got to put it out there in order for sometimes to heal it, for it to get better. So before we get started, I want to introduce to you some of my friends that are going to be talking with us on today. So first up, I'm going to introduce to the world my sister. She is Miss Deanna Johnson. She has a sweet bundle of joy that is going to be coming into this world any day now. But she loves me so much that she decided that she would take time to be with us on today. So shout out to my sister, Deanna. Hey, girl.
Hey, y'all.
And next we have my really good friend. I've known this girl since we were in sixth grade. I don't know how old we were, but we were in sixth grade. And where we grew up, we were like the only two colored girls or black girls in our class. So we immediately bonded and we have been friends ever since. Everyone, I want to welcome to the stage none other than Miss Melissa Parrott. Hey, girl.
Woo, woo.
She's Parrot now, but Sue, she's about to be Mathis.
Oh.
She's about to be Mathis.
Yeah, show the ring, show the ring.
And next, I guess I've been introducing y'all in order to how I know y'all, but the thing about it is I kind of knew Melissa before Deanna. But then now we have April, and she's coming up. I've known her for a long time now. Before Joshua, I think, was born, or I might have been pregnant or just had Joshua. So if Joshua is 11, that means that I've known her for at least 11 years. She sings in my group with me, and she's such a jewel. And it doesn't hurt that her daughter is my goddaughter, none other than Miss April Saxton.
Hey,
And last but definitely not least, I have Miss Denise Lucas. I've known her probably for around 6 years, I think. She started coming around, her husband and her started coming around right after my dad passed. And her and her husband have been just a jewel to our family. They've helped us over the years with so many different things. She sings in my group, Whitney Curry and Anointed, but now she's also a close friend of ours. I want to introduce to the world none other than Miss Denise Lucas.
Hey guys.
Hey.
Hi, girl.
So, did you guys share?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay. Sorry, I forgot to kind of mention that before we started, but okay. I want to first just thank you guys for coming on. We did this last year, if y'all remember, and it looks like my screen is in delay, so I'm probably going to be looking a little bit crazy, but you guys can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So as long as you can hear me, that's what's most important. So let's talk about it. Y'all ready to talk about some stuff? We talked last year that we was nice and friendly. This time, I want us to be ourselves. Like if nobody else was here, nobody could see us. I want to let people into our world.
Uh-oh.
Is that cool? I got an echo,
Ready?
or is that somebody else? Is that somebody else?
I heard it too.
Oh, okay. So, are you listening? Here is the first question of the evening. It's not that bad. I promise you, it's not that bad. But this is what we're going to talk about. The first question I have for all of y'all, and don't all answer at one time, is it hard being a mother, or if you're not a mother, a daughter? Is it hard for you?
I mean, it has its moments. I mean, it's not always hard, but when they both need your attention at the same time, it can be a little hard. You know me, I have two. So I have a 7, almost 8, and then I have a just 4-year-old. And I think it's not all hard. It's not always hard, and everything isn't hard. It just have it's difficult moments, like when you're overwhelmed or when you're tired. They don't care that you are tired. You know what I mean? So especially when you're doing it by yourself, you know. That can be very hard.
Facts.
And I mean, sometimes mothers with husbands are still doing it by themselves because he ain't doing nothing.
Come on, say so.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't saying like say so, me say so.
No.
See, you about to start problems already. No, that's not what I was saying.
That's not what you saying. That's not what you saying.
Fix my face. Rewind.
To piggyback on Melissa, it is hard when you're doing it on your own. I have 2, and they're 11 years apart. So I'm dealing with a new teenager, and I'm dealing with a toddler, and pretty much doing it alone. I have my village. Y'all in my village. I have my village. You know, they help out, but for the most part, it's just me. And it's, I wouldn't say hard, it's just challenging. Sometimes it's just challenging. It's rewarding though. I mean, kids, they love their mamas like nobody else to love them, you know, so it's rewarding. But like now my daughter isn't feeling well. And, you know, she's been fussy all night, fussy all day. And you're trying to get other stuff accomplished and handling a sick toddler too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot. So it has its times, like today, it can be challenging, but it's rewarding.
I guess I'll go. I got help, and it's still hard because like 20 minutes before this video, I was about to have like one less child. Okay, so yeah, we just gonna say that, and I had to go pray and remove myself and fast right quick because like I was about to send y'all a text like, listen, I just can't do it because it's a Mother's Day edition. I don't even feel like being a mother right now. Like, I ain't got nothing to talk about. Like, y'all won't hear from me right now. So yeah, because so yeah. And it was just like, you know, overwhelming. Like, you know, so it has its times, but then it's like they said, like it's those moments, and especially like with the boys, like boys love their moms. And I have a daughter that's coming, and I'm just like, okay, it's just like me that's coming, and Jesus Lord, I don't even know about that. Just gonna pray. But anyway,
buckle your seatbelt, girl. Yeah, buckle it tight.
Lord, I just want to thank you. I just want to thank you. First of all, I'm being a little bit shady because I want you to get back everything that you did to your mother. She tried to remove herself.
Come back, daughter.
I want her to get back everything that she did to her mother, but at the same time, Lord, I am so thankful that I do not have a girl. Let me just tell you that. Woo! Thank you, Jesus.
I know
because I know I was a handful. He do. I was a handful. Honey, I already know.
It's like 2 different worlds. I'm telling you.
Okay. I forgot what we was talking about. So I started thinking about Deanna having this baby. But someone is so nice. They said that we're superheroes. Thank you for saying
thank you,
that.
Michael.
I know, Michael.
That's so nice. And hey girl, Shantae's on here.
Hey, Shantae.
So, That's a good question. That's a good place to kind of transition, because he said that we're superheroes, and in my opinion, dealing with being a mother or a daughter or a sister or auntie, a godmother, whoever you may be in someone's life, I think that stigmatism runs with us as being women, that we are superheroes. We do everything. We can do multitask and do like 20 different things all at one time. And so I guess my question is are there any things about motherhood that is scary to you? Like when you think about it and what it entails of being a mother, is there anything that's scary?
Well, for me, I'm not a mother yet, but what freaks me out is that I have to be responsible for a whole other human, and I'm barely responsible enough to take care of me.
That part.
So, like, the great thing about not having kids is that I can take everybody else's kid for a day or two, maybe even a week, and I can give it back. And I don't have to be responsible for its whole life. I can make a small little impact and they'll remember me for life, and that'll be all right. But if I have to bring forth another human into the world, then I'm responsible for how they eat, how they dress, how they think. What kind of person are they going to be when they are 20, when they're 50, when they get married? Am I going to raise a son to be a good man? Am I going to raise a daughter to be a good daughter? Is the daughter going to be like me when I was young? Like, all those things run through my mind. And like, I'm kind of okay at the moment, but then there are moments where my uterus yearns for a child. So it's like a balancing scale sometimes when I think about it. But I mean, I see y'all doing it, and superhero is a cute little name for it, but it's so much more than being a superhero, because superheroes are fictional and you guys are real. So
you're so sweet. Look at you trying to add that in there. Yes. Let me just say, I haven't thought about what they're going to be when they 50, 80. Let's just get through tomorrow. When you said that, I was like, ooh, well, Lord, I hope that they make it to get out my house. That's what I want.
Alive.
Exactly. Because clearly Deanna's about to kill one of them. And it was probably Ziggy, wasn't it?
But this time, that's the thing. This time it was on.
Really?
But like 20 minutes prior to that, it was Ziggy. So, I mean, yeah.
They can't help themselves.
They can't.
That's a good one.
The scary part for me being a parent is always not being able to provide for my children, provide the necessities for my children. I always want, especially when I'm doing it alone. That is something that I always fear. And I try my hardest to make sure that I'm able to do that for my kids and they don't ever have to need for anything. And I think because that fear is there, that pushes me a little harder to make sure that my kids have everything that they need.
That's good. Shantae said that the unknown is the scariest part, trying to shield your children or your kids from the mistakes that you made. And that's real.
Yes, absolutely.
That's real.
I agree with Shantae because like, it's especially now, like I'm in like the biggest scare of my life. Like I be acting like everything be all good, but no, for real, it's really not. Like I'm so scared, like of having a daughter, and not even just the me part. Is like I don't want to fail at raising her, you know, like because I know everything that like I have dealt with and, you know, had to endure and things like that. And it's just and things that I took like and allowed myself to go through, like, and even losing my dad at the age of 8 and then looking for that in all these different men that I've been in. And obviously, like, it just ain't been right. Like, I just don't know how to choose it.
Shut up.
Anyway, that's a different story. Because, yeah. anyways. So it's just like, and I felt like I was very like I was going through like this whole process, and then like a couple of weeks ago it was like I have to heal. Like I thought I was good, like and over a lot of things, but then I had some setbacks and I was like, oh, like, oh,
I know.
Oh, you better encourage.
But no, like, and I had some setbacks, and I was like, okay, I have to heal, and I have to heal fast, because I cannot bring her into this world broken. I cannot bring her into this world with holding on to all these different regrets and pains and anger issues. Like, just, it was just so much. And it's been for the course of the time of my life. Like, I'm about to be 29, and then a couple of days after that, have a baby, like a daughter, and it's just like, yeah, this got to happen fast. Like, so that's my fear. And also what April said too, you know, just trying to make sure that they have everything. So because my parents like did spoil the crap out of me, like I never knew what it was like to want for anything, because they gave me literally whatever I wanted, plus more, plus the things I didn't even need. And it's like, and I'm trying, like I keep seeing myself doing that for my kids, and a lot of times like they really don't be needing it, but it's like, but because I had it, they need to have it too. So yeah,
blame it all on Jean. She's watching.
yeah,
It's all her fault.
It's your fault. I mean, I agree with everyone else about being just being fearful of certain things. With the world today and how the dangers of police brutality, you know, I have Black boys, you know, and that is one thing that I fear, you know, and it's like raising your children and teaching your boys things that your parents told you about back in the day. But it's like, moving forward, it's like, this is what I have to teach my children. Like I have to teach my Black boys about how to be when you're driving, and if a police officer pulls you over, you know, put your hands on the steering wheel. And just driving is scary to think about it. You know, I've been in a handful of car accidents. Thank God I'm still alive, you know, and thank God I had friends that really weren't good for me, but they didn't have me going in a direction that had me doing things that had me locked up. You know what I mean? Or just my own mindset of doing things. So, I mean, that's kind of fearful. Just, you know, just life and just what you have to raise your children to be mindful of. I think that's why prayer is so serious. I mean, my son cut up yesterday while he slept. I had to go in there and pray for the boy. Because listen, I have to. Because it is a scary world. And, you know, they may do things as children, but you don't want them growing up and not being mindful and thinking that they can do those same things as adults.
Facts. And I was just talking to, who was I talking? Oh, Keisha. She did my hair. You like my hair?
Yeah.
She did my hair. And we were talking. And sometimes, like, you know, when you're in the chair and you just get to talking and you go from one topic to the next to the next. And so when we were talking about the fact that, that generational things that we don't even know that our parents did. We haven't even seen our parents do them, but somehow we end up being in those same situations, those crazy situations, and we never had a conversation. We never talked to them. We didn't see them drinking. We didn't see them smoking, but somehow we repeat those things. And the crazy thing is that we at some point have to take a stand to stop some of the generational things that are happening, because I truly believe that they are curses that have been dispatched from way before our ancestors. And so now, because people don't talk about it, we hide it and we put it underneath the rug. So then what ends up happening is that we play it out. Our parents played out what our grandparents did, and so on and so forth. And so now we're getting into an age where everything is open, everything can be seen. People know and understand different things that we didn't understand, or our parents may not have understood. And so now you find yourself in a place to where, how am I going to stop this cycle so that my kids don't repeat the same thing that I did?
Yeah.
And what I have found is that it doesn't matter how much you try to ignore it or you try to hide it from them. The reality is that you have to talk to your kids because it's within your bloodline. It's part of who you are. It's part of your makeup. And I remember you saying yesterday, Melissa, how you were like, no, it's going to stop here. Like, that's it. We don't have to accept like, oh, it's a Parrot thing or it's a Jackson thing or whatever our name, our family names are, but we can make our children to be the best that they can be by sowing into their lives, by speaking into their lives, by changing the trajectory of their life just by prayer alone and being the right examples in their life.
Hallelujah.
Absolutely.
Y'all bear with me because I know that my Wi-Fi, like, I mean, I know this is the devil, but I mean,
he always
any other time when you just want to, when you want to scroll on the internet, then it just be fine.
Shopping online, buying this, buying that, you good to go.
No, for real. That connection be working real good.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes, Toddy.
That's what I'm saying. Shoot. But yeah, so that brings me to my next point that I want to talk to you about because Deanna opened it up and I was going to start it and I was like, no, let's save it till later because then people may not want to watch us. They might get off. But have you ever felt like throwing your child away? Kicking them
multiple times a week
of them. Shoot.
Multiple times a week.
All the time.
Jesus Christ. So you want to tell us? You want to tell us how Zion almost lost his life?
It's just like, you know how you talking to somebody and they just looking at you and it's like, I know you hear me talking to you. Okay, then I'm telling you that you like, okay, you pissing me off a little bit. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like I'm at like a good 9.9 and it's about to get 100 real quick. And it's like, and you still just not listening to me. So yeah, like I kicked the trash can. Like it was just bad. Like it was and the fact that Ziggy was just like
bless her Lord.
So yeah, it was just bad. Like it's just, I don't know. It's like talking to a brick wall. Like I'm trying to help you, like, and you know, like everybody doing this whole learning thing or whatever. So you're trying to be this good patient parent, like, and trying to like teach them something because we're going through this reading assignment. It's like you're just not listening to me, and I don't want to like lash out on you, like, because I'm trying to help you. But listen, I can't help you like that, bro, because you're not listening to me. Like, and then you just, I can't talk about this no more. Somebody else go. I ain't get delivered that yet.
Look, Ava is two and already sitting there staring you in your face while you telling her
like
to do
just
something.
like just looking at
like she's just looking
I know you hear me. Like
they all do it.
Are you deaf?
They all do
Ava, do you hear me talking to you? Yes.
Corey do that blink thing. He be like,
just,
oh wait, she
already.
said yes. She
Already,
said yes.
Mm-hmm. You ask her, are you listening to me? She said yes. I said, do you understand me? Yes. Already.
Like, I don't care.
So good luck, Deanna.
You know that TikTok where the little girl be like, I hate it here.
Oh yes. Is she trying to leave the house?
All right.
No, the other one where it's like all of a sudden you see the mom picking up the thing and it's like, oh, are you okay? You okay? That's me. Shoot.
But when the little girl's like, clean my room.
Let me tell you.
All right, baby.
Sometimes I just think that my children forget. Because when they were little, I would spank them all the time because their dad would be working. So I felt like I had to prove like, okay, I'm not the one to mess with. But as they gotten older, they mellowed out a little bit, except Joshua, they chilled out. I have to end up like trying to talk to them rather than spank them.
Yeah.
And because I don't want them to only be afraid of like my hand or me spanking them, I'm about to slap them or whatever the case is. But every once in a while they gotta be reminded, like, I don't know who you think you dealing with. Like, who are you talking to? Especially when like one that won't be mentioned will start mumbling under his breath. I'm like, are you saying that to me? What you say? What you say again? Nothing. Yes, you did, because you were saying it for a nice little while. So they just need to be reminded every now and again.
That's how it was that day when Melissa was at the house and I went off on Jordan.
Man, she leaped over the couch. Okay, track star.
You be going so fast, like it'd be like, whoa.
I had enough. I had enough that day.
You try and you're like, Lord Jesus, my patience. And one thing that Whitney just told me, she said she stopped praying for patience. And I'm gonna tell you right now,
be careful.
When you pray for patience, he gives you situations that you have to be patient in. I'm done. I'm not gonna keep praying for patience because I don't want to keep having to go through this. I think I'm just gonna be praying for other things. Because like April, she was just like, all right, I said this. Like, you try and talk calm and all right, okay. But then all of a sudden, when you ready to go Bruce Lee and punch you in your chest and karate chop you, now you want to be like, ooh. But why you couldn't just listen when I said it the first time?
Exactly.
But let a man be like, hey, they be like, okay.
Right. And I'm just like, really? Like,
really? I just said the same thing.
And now we want to clean our room. Now we want to listen. Now we want to do this. Like, what?
Yeah. You be like, you know what? I'm over it. That's why I said I'm that little girl. I hate it here. I'm leaving. Y'all can stay. Oh, I think you just need to put all of them in a room. Gone. Christian. Here you go.
Everybody.
Christian and Jordan.
Right.
All of them. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
You can hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, let me put my AirPods back in.
We just
sorry, y'all.
Quiet. We were just having flashbacks. So
right.
Right.
And I think that's the thing that's so unfortunate. I know the Bible says, "Spare the rod, spoil the child." So I know that it's a necessity. What I have learned is to try not to spank my children out of anger. You know, like when I'm angry, because that's when we end up hurting them. That's when the spirit behind what we're trying to get them to understand, they've missed it. You know what I mean? So like, all they know is that you're like raging and they have no clue what really happened. Like, I've had to catch myself a couple times and go back to my children and apologize and be like, you know, hey, do you even know why you got in trouble? Do you know what happened? Joshua would be like, no, I have no clue. And I'm like, you know, that's my fault. Let me stop and explain to you what you did instead of just going off the handle and then not talking about it. It's just like, yeah, now what? Like, you want to flex like you did something. These are little children, you know. And then when we deal with adults, we don't flex like that. We don't jump up in their face and stuff. And sometimes I think it's about trying to prove like you're the boss. And the Bible talks about that. It talks about don't provoke your children either. So I think that those are hard lessons as mothers that we have to learn. Hey, Sharmonique.
Hi.
Hey. So did anybody else have anything they wanted to say on that topic?
I'm actually getting better at that, because you know, when you are upset, you can discipline your children and be a lot harder on them because you're angry at, you know, what they have done. But it's more so like Corey did something yesterday and I actually did pretty good. Like, you know, I could have jacked him up. He got jacked up, but it was more so because of his actions. And I wasn't angry. I told him I was more disappointed and you will suffer these consequences. However, I didn't do it out of anger, but I just basically told him, like, you know, it's a disappointment that you would do that. You hurt my feelings. Like, it hurt me that you do that. And I mean, I feel like he was more hurt like that. I heard it. He's like, I'm sorry. Yeah. but
Mhm.
I know my baby's sensitive.
Mhm.
No, I'm definitely learning that, but then again, every child is different. Because Milan is more like,
He don't care.
you pop him, he be like, all right.
Mhm.
Or you think it's like you took his life away. But
Mhm.
everybody, they're all different. But I definitely, I am learning and getting better at doing it more so because it's necessary, other than doing it because I'm angry and I'm about to show you. Or I just take stuff away because the kids love the little games.
Yes,
They love
indeed.
to watch that phone, and they
Yes,
can't do that.
indeed.
They sick.
I can pull up the Xfinity app on my phone and disconnect the PlayStation. I disconnect the phone. I disconnect everything, and he can't connect to it. He won't even know. Oh, you want to act up, do you? Pull up the app, disconnect. He'll call me, Mommy, I can't connect my PlayStation. Oh, really? Oh, I wonder why. I do it quick. I would do it quick.
Yeah, and then you have a teenager though. You know what I mean? Like, oh Lord.
Oh my gosh. I can't believe it. And he's like at the beginning stages of, his teenage years. I can't believe it. And he tries me. I mean, he's overall, he's not much of a, he's not a troubled kid. He does well in school. He just actually got invited to the National Junior Honor Society.
Go Jordan!
Yeah. So I mean, he's doing really, really good. I'm so proud of him. But every now and then, he likes to test me, and so I've become really, really good at disconnecting those devices in that bedroom.
That's a good thing.
And that's the part I need to learn is how to disconnect them, because it's like I had told them not to watch something, and then it's like, so you just start watching it yourself. Like I'm just listening. Like, oh, I'm just not a parent. It's like because I look like a child. Like I'm like a child. Like we all brothers. Like I'm really not understanding what is happening. Like, am I your sister? Because y'all. Like I'm just not understanding. Like I think that's what they be thinking. Like she's that cool mom. Like no.
Yeah, but she's fine. I'm just gonna do it anyway.
Every now and then you gotta remind them. You don't even gotta say nothing. Just pull up that app and disconnect.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, we're gonna talk after this because I need to learn how to do it. I was just like, and then it's like, and sometimes even with the internet and stuff, like I don't even think that they know what they're watching either. Like because we were in the car. I don't even know if this is appropriate. Well, Whitney's gone now, so I'm not gonna say. But anyway, so but like it was like I don't know if I can say this or not. Anyways, they heard something on this video, and it was a joke about a girlfriend, and it was a particular thing that they was calling the girlfriend. They start with an L and with an N, and I was just like, okay, maybe I ain't hear right, because Ziggy had said it. So I'm like, Ziggy. So then when Zion had said it too or whatever, and I'm just like, okay, no more videos, no more nothing, because like I don't know what y'all watching. Yep. It's like these supposed to be kid videos, but yet they're like putting in like these little messages and stuff like that, and it's like they don't know. But when you sitting there listening and or whatever, and I'm just like, oh shit. Like
the world is corrupt. They trying it with these children.
And then I'm just like,
and then it can be a spiritual, it can be a spiritual thing. Like one night, Jordan likes to sleep with usually he'll sleep with music on. Gerard. Usually he'll sleep with music on. And so one night I was in my room and he was in the living room, and he had fell asleep with the living room television on. And so I'm just tossing and I'm turning. I'm like, why can't I sleep? And so I could just hear something like bothering me, like disturbing me while I'm sleeping. I mean, while I'm trying to sleep, while I'm in my room. So I get up and I'm like, what in the world does Jordan have on that TV? Mind you, he's sleeping. So I go in and y'all, I don't like anime. I know kids like anime and they like to watch it. I don't. But I don't particularly care for anime. However, he was in the living room, and I was telling Whitney about this. He was in the living room, and I turn on the TV, and I see something about exorcism. It's an anime cartoon, and I see a cross, and it says something about exorcism or stuff. I woke that boy up. It had to be like 2:00 in the morning, 2:30 in the morning. Jordan, get up now! I'm running to the cabinet, pulling out my oil, and I'm like, oh no, you cannot watch stuff like this while you're sleeping. Right. You know, while you're sleeping, while you're awake, but definitely while you're sleeping. While you're sleeping, stuff is still getting into your spirit.
It's still getting into stuff and it's like they don't even know, because even when I was perking off, they looking at me like, I mean, dang, it's just lotion. Like we just talking about lotion. And I'm perking off because like, bruh, like y'all don't know what that means. Like, but and they just looking at me like I'm just crazy. And then so it's just like, okay, so y'all just can't watch nothing then. Just forget it. Like, because y'all don't understand. But
I think I scared them to death. Yeah, I scared them. I scared them when I woke him up out of his sleep. So now I don't even think he watch anime anymore, I'm gonna be honest, but we don't
This is a good one, y'all. I know that I disappeared for a second, but
yeah, I saw that. I was waiting for you to come back.
I saw Gerard pop up for a second.
That's what makes it so awesome when you have people who can just carry on. Y'all don't need me. I'm just here as the wallpaper. But my mother said that children mimic their parents. How do y'all feel about that?
Yeah, absolutely. True. My daughter is the queen. My daughter is the queen of mimicking. Okay. I put my makeup on. She's right next to me with her little brush and her little sponge, and she's doing the same thing that I'm doing. When I'm putting on lotion, she's sitting next to me and she puts lotion on. When I'm fussing at Jordan, she's standing right next to me, fussing at her brother too. Like she is the queen. That needs to tell you, she is the queen of mimicking. She watches everything that everyone around her does, and she does it.
Yeah, she does.
I was had a habit of talking back growing up. Just like, got something to say, talking under my breath. And I find that Corey's more like that. And he's like, and it's like, all right, go do this. But something. Shut your mouth. You know what I mean? Be quiet. You know what I mean? But then it's just like, okay, God, all right.
I get it. I understand.
Like all that yipping and yapping I was doing, now I'm getting it back. And that's what's just like, Lord Jesus, having a daughter, Deanna. Listen.
No, I always got it with Zion and Ziggy. And it's like, so it's just like the fact that it is a girl and I already got it. It's like, what the heck? Yo, like, God, like, come on. But like, it's like, how worse do it get more than you? And it's just like, yo.
You're gonna learn. You're gonna learn what to do and what not to do. Like, even with, when I say that when I'm yelling at Jordan, she's standing next to me and she's yelling at me. And I figured out that that's how I'm teaching her how to communicate. You're yelling. So now, every now and then she's yelling at people. And I'm like, Ava, no, that's not how we talk. That's not how we speak to people. So now I have to be mindful. That's not to yell at Jordan, but talk to him so she knows that's how she's supposed to communicate.
Right. Healthy communication is important. Right.
Yeah, that's facts.
I was just saying to Gerard yesterday or day before yesterday, the older I get, the more I turn into both of my parents.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, girl.
It's small things that I would see my parents do when I was younger that you don't even think about. Like, we were driving up to New Hampshire, and I drove most of the way. And I found myself like looking off to the side of the road at the scenery while I'm driving. And that's what my dad does. He's like driving and he's like, oh man, look at those cows. Dad, focus on the road. Because you're going to kill us looking at the cows. Luckily for me, I don't swerve, but I don't want to get to that point. And it's like, and I did something else that reminded me of my mom. And my mom is on here too. Hey, Mom. And it was something that I did. I said, man, the older I get, the more I turn into Derek and Felicia Ball. And it's scary. And it's the little things that I do, but it's probably some other deeper things that I do that I don't even realize coming from my parents. I call it me, but it's a combination of both of them.
Facts. Man, let me tell you one thing. My dad used to always tell me, just say okay, be quiet. Like you talk too much, just shut up and just say all right. And I would be like, well, I don't really understand because it's not okay. And so I'm trying to figure out why do I have to say okay to something that isn't okay? And now I be telling my kids the same thing. Be quiet, just say okay, shut up. And it's like, you want to backhand them, but what they're saying isn't wrong. You know they're kind of right, but at the same time, it's like you are 11 and you're 14. You need to stay in a child's place, and some of it is just about learning how to be a child. Our kids want to grow up so fast, and I think that the things that we expose them to allows them to grow up so much quicker than when we were children. You know, because we didn't have telephones, we didn't have a cell phone when I was growing up, which I guess I'm showing my age. When you had a beeper, that meant that like you were selling drugs, or that's how people try to make it seem like you were selling drugs. You had a beeper. No, I'm serious. My brother had to sneak to get a pager, and then when I found out, I was like, oh, I was like, you gonna get in trouble.
You selling drugs?
April, your daughter is texting us.
My daughter's texting you? Oh, Lord. She had my phone. That was the only way I was going to keep her quiet is to let her watch YouTube with her brother.
All in the group chat.
Wait. Look at how much she talks.
Yeah, I know how she rolls. Yeah. Just heart it.
Like, I need to be a part of this. Say this for me.
The link.
And she knows she really be knowing what she doing too. That's the crazy thing. I mean, what is going on? She know how to flip to the next video. She is too.
She was with my cousin the other day and they took a selfie. She went to my cousin's Facebook stories and posted the picture with an emoji. I lie to you not. She put a smiley face emoji on the picture and posted it to her stories. Yeah, she did. She was like, April, look what your daughter did. She said, you're going to see it on Facebook.
Y'all are so funny. Well, before I say anything else, I just want you all to know that I appreciate you all for taking time out to just kind of chat, share with people as mothers, as daughters, sisters, women who have mothers. I think that it's important to show the human side of who we are. Yes, we love God. Yes, we want to be the best that we can be in as an influence, but at the same time, we need to. Oh, she said she's FaceTiming them.
He is.
Oh,
my daughter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
But I think that we need to stretch so that we can be the best versions of ourselves. And that's really what this is about. Being real, being honest, showing who we really are so that someone doesn't feel like they're alone and they're all by themselves and they're struggling, or they're a single mother, or they're trying to make it, or like Denise was saying, you have that desire to be a child, but to have children, but you're like, I don't know, that's a whole lot of responsibility. You know, there's all different facets of being a woman, and I want everyone to be able to just see some regular ladies, you know, talking about stuff. So this is the last thing, but I'll go ahead. You can ask it, Denise.
The question was, what have you learned from your mom, or what has your mom taught you that has stuck with you until now?
Everybody's not your friend.
That's a good one.
That everyone's not your friend. That you have to be very mindful of who you call friend.
That's a good one.
That's definitely, because growing up, when I wanted to go here with that person and go here with that person, and she say no, they're not your friend. No, you can't go there. No, you can't do this. I also learned from my mom that I don't need to be a part of everything. You know what I mean? You know, when you get upset when you can't go to this party, you can't go to that party. But then at the end of the day, half the parties I couldn't go to, it was always something bad happening. Get your
Come on.
Lord, see.
Right, they telling you that's enough.
Right.
That's good. What about you, April?
So my mom has always taught us, and she still taught. In fact, she had to remind me yesterday. So I'm a worrier. I try not to worry, but I'll worry over the smallest things. And my mom has always taught her daughters to not worry about anything. My mom is one of the coolest, calmest people you'll ever meet. Like, she can be in the world in the storm, in the middle of a storm, and just be calm. And one thing my mom never did was worried about anything. I seen my mom struggle financially, taking care of us, because she did it for a while by herself and, raised 2 girls, work multiple jobs. But my mom always stayed calm and stayed cool. If bills were due, she never stressed about money, never stressed about, making sure that we had everything that we needed. And so I told y'all my fear earlier. And so whenever things become challenging for me, like yesterday, just so I'm trying to tell y'all this without telling everybody my business. But like yesterday, I applied for something. And the person who I've been working with had called and told me they lost my application. So I'm like, you lost my application with my information, my personal information. So I started worrying. Oh my gosh, Mom, they lost my application. What I'm gonna do, how I'm gonna get those documents back and all this other stuff. My mom was like, hey, but just stop praying. Pray that God will show you, will get find the application. Pray that the person will find the application so you won't have to, do the work again and your personal information won't be out. And so, sometimes you hard-headed and you like, that was my attitude. Like, right now, I just want to worry about it, but okay. And so about an hour, 2 hours later, I did pray. I was obedient. About an hour, 2 hours later, the lady called and was like, hey, bro, I got some good news. They found your application. It was downstairs in the wrong suite.
See?
Mama, you was right again. Mama, if you watching, you was right again. You told me to pray about everything, and sometimes I forget. And my mom always told us, and my sister is really, really, she's a really good prayer, y'all. If y'all need prayer, ask my sister to pray for you. She will pray heaven down. And so that's one thing that always sticks with us. Even when you don't feel like praying, pray anyway. And yeah.
Denise or Deanna?
Go, Denise. Go first.
Well, my mom, I have a twin sister. So when we were little, my mom would always make us go everywhere together. And then we had my little sister when we were 10. We're 10 years apart. And we would always have to go everywhere with her. Or like my mom wouldn't let my sister and I go to the mailbox by ourselves. And so what that taught me, she never verbally said it, but what it taught me was to be protective of my sisters. And that has translated into my friendships. So like, I never let any of my friends go anywhere by themselves if I can help it. If I know about it and I'm available, I'm with you to go wherever you need to go, whatever you need to do, I'll go with you. And my mom is the oldest of 4 girls. So she's like that mama bear of her sisters. And I'm the oldest of my 3 sisters, but not my siblings. And so I'm like the mama bear. But she's always taught me to like never let anybody go through anything alone. Don't do anything by yourself. You don't have to do anything, like keep a watchful eye. Don't let anything happen. Even when I was living my life like it was golden in these streets with my best friend, doing whatever we was doing, we never did anything by ourselves. I never let her go anywhere by herself. So that's one of the things that my mom taught me, was just to be watchful and mindful of the people that I hold dear.
That's so beautiful. Deanna.
I think Deanna stuck.
We don't know what you're saying. See, what I'm telling you, this is the devil. Log out and come back in, Deanna.
Mm-hmm.
I'm frozen too, but y'all can still hear me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll go. The thing that my mom said to me when that has always stuck with me, especially now that I have my own children, is that when you get older, you'll understand. Like she used to always say that, and I like she would be frustrated. Some days she would come home from work, she would be flustered, not in the best mood, and I'm trying to figure out like, well, what happened? You know what I mean? Like we're alive, she making dinner, but she angry. I'm like, well, what? Why is she mad? What's happening? And she would be, she would go off and like she'd be like, Whitney, you just don't understand. I'm like, Ma, like chill, pray, like let's have fun. And she was like, Whitney, no. When you get older, I promise you, one day you will tell me and you will say you understand too. And lo and behold, I understand too, for sure. I understand. Like, sometimes it's not that anybody even did anything to you. It's just the weight of the world sometimes is on your shoulder. You have to work, clean, cook, fold clothes, help them with their homework. You want to try to accomplish things. So you may be in school and doing different things or trying to get a business off the ground. And so there's so many things that can be overwhelming, let alone when we call ourselves Christians. So we feel that we have to be in church 24/7 and we're doing so much stuff that after a while it's like, can I just breathe for a second? You know, like my children don't want to go anywhere without me. I'm like, no, can I just stop for a second? So when I go in my house and I go in my room and I shut the door, they already know, like, just leave her alone.
Right.
And I think that that's kind of I don't put myself, I don't get down on myself because I do that, because I really need a break. Like I need a timeout. And my mom has shown me that you can still be a good mother. You can still do all the things, but there's some times that you got to take some time for yourself. Mm-hmm. And so, because if you don't, nobody is going to be able to get the good parts of you, right? Because you're doing way too much.
Yes, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Way too much. I know Deanna has something to say, but I think that her internet is acting up just like mine is. It's crazy.
As much money as you pay for this stuff. Xfinity provides, and if y'all listening.
I'm sick of paying this Xfinity bill. I'm sick of it.
Ridiculous.
Tell them. It's ridiculous. But then they want to make sure that they put up all those daggone ads to make sure that you buying them ads. Shucks.
Right.
We're going to see a Verizon ad on our Facebook tonight.
Yep, just because we mentioned their name.
Right. About it.
They listening, and so is Facebook and YouTube. They just don't want us to talk about what we're talking about.
Right.
That's all that is. Isn't that like us, though? We try to say that it's them, and it's probably not.
That's how I feel about Target. I'm not the problem.
No, sis. You the problem.
No, you the problem. How you gonna talk about some? Oh my God, y'all! New York and Company having a sale. I got all this in the cart, and we like, you don't need that, and you like, you right. But then I went to Target. What? No, not Target, not none of that.
Target is the place, though. I'm trying to tell you.
I love me some Target, man. I love me some Target.
I go in there.
It's a problem. I went in there for one thing and had a cart full of stuff. I was like,
Target,
why?
Always. That's how you know that you're blessed, though. You know that? Because you can do that. Do you know how many people, I was telling the children at school today that they're in India right now and they have to literally put oxygen over their oxygen mask just to breathe, and the death toll is over like almost, it's like a 600,000 or something crazy like that. And so everyone, they're literally fighting to get oxygen masks. They're running out of oxygen, and we're acting like we're past the pandemic and we're moving on, when the reality is that it can swoop back around to your corner at any given time. And so just to be able to go to the Target or to have money to get stuff while there's people who are being put out on the streets and don't have anywhere to stay, we are blessed.
Yes,
blessed beyond
Thank you,
measure.
Jesus.
Jesus.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I don't want to hold y'all anymore. I think Deanna, she keep trying to get back on. But I don't want to hold y'all anymore. But I want you all to know again how much I appreciate you, how much I thank you. D, can you move? Move your arm.
She's still
Are you still stuck?
She's still frozen.
Okay.
But
What girl? But I want you all to, especially if your mom is watching, I want you to take some time
I was
to
trying to mind
just
you.
say you what you say?
He's trying to mime.
Girl.
Oh my god.
Yeah, put it in the chat, Deanna. And then we'll say it. But I want you to tell your mom something special about her, even if she's not on. I think that it's important to give people their flowers while they're alive. There's so many people, as this Mother's Day is coming up, that don't have their moms. Regardless if they're our best friend or not, that doesn't mean they brought us in this world. They have given us so much and sacrificed so much that we won't even begin to understand. So if there's something that you like to say, just tell your mom something that you appreciate about her.
that's a good idea.
Oh well, I'll just go ahead and get it over with. So, because I'm not the mushiest person, but I just want to tell my mom that I appreciate her. I just said I'm not the mushiest person, so expressing myself doesn't come easy. But my mom has been a big help. I live alone. I'm raising kids by myself. I'm working, and I'm doing so many other things. And my mom takes care of my daughter for me while I'm working. And she doesn't have to. Her kids are grown, and she raised the kids, and she can do whatever she wants with her time. But instead, she's there and she's taking care of my daughter for me. Not only that, she's doing a lot for us outside of that. If it's something that I need, I might be a little slick. I might put it in the Amazon cart so she can see it. But when she sees it sitting in that Amazon cart, she'll text me and be like, "Hey, April, I ordered your pillows." Or, to be something like that. My mom, she doesn't have to do that, but she does. And I just want to tell her that I appreciate her.
That's beautiful. Deanna?
I just want to say, well, thank you, because I know that I was a lot. I know I'm still a lot. And but you never gave up on me. You still continue to love me. And even when I was trying to give up on myself, and you've always just tried to give me everything, literally everything, and still to this day. And you've always encouraged me and pushed me, even when it is times I've cried. You've been there in my weakest moments, and even with thinking that I couldn't make it, and I was telling you that I can't do this, I can't do this life thing. You've always been there for those moments. And it's just I'm not strong enough for this, and you're listen to me, you are, and you are going to make it. You are going to make it. So it's because of her and God that I have made it this far, because all those times she's did nothing but encourage me and pray for me, and just kept me. I remember coming home one night, and I was just a complete mess, and literally was trying to end my life. And all she did, she just, and I couldn't even explain it. She just I'm just crying and crying and crying, and all she did was just pray over me and pray for me. And I woke up that next morning, and she was still there, beside me.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a true covering. She's always there for me, even for the kids and everything. So I mean, I just want to say thank you, and that I love you.
That's beautiful.
Oh,
no.
No.
Sister Lucas or Melissa?
I want to say thank you to my mom for your hard work, your strength. As a mother now, it can be overwhelming. But then when I look back on how my mom took care of me and my brother, she did it effortlessly. And I want to, Mom, thank you for your love and showing me how to be a lady. Bringing God in my life. My mom made sure that I was in church and that I was a part of the choir and I was in Sunday school. You know what I mean? And because of my mom, I have a relationship with God. It's deeper now, but my mom is the reason why I had God in my life as a child. And I also want to thank you, Mom, for just showing me that I need how to have good friends and not have every friend. So on Mother's Day in a couple days, happy Mother's Day, Mom. I truly love you and I appreciate you and love you.
That's beautiful. Sister Lucas?
I'd like to say, Mom, she's gonna watch this later. She was texting me as we were doing this. But I appreciate my mom for being like this quiet storm. She's always been like a quiet storm. You never really see her, you never really hear her, but you can feel her. Like I always know when my mom's praying for me. I always know when she's thinking about me. And then it's like God always sends her when I'm upset because she'll call and give me an encouraging word or just call to tell me that she loves me, and I need that sometimes. So thanks, Mom, for always being what I don't always know that I need.
That's beautiful. You guys said such lovely and nice things. And I know that your moms are listening. I see, first of all, Jean, I don't know what you're doing, but it keeps saying like 20 million times that you're watching. I don't know if you're like logging off and then logging back on. Yes, I'm like, what is she doing? I'm so sorry. But like I keep looking and I'm like, what is happening here? But I have two mothers and I have some spiritual mothers too. But I want to tell Jean personally how much I love and appreciate her. And she has blessed not just me but my children and our family in such a huge way. I've never heard Jean complain, not one time, when she's at home, when she's watching the kids, when she has something to do, but then we ask her, can she do something? She will alter her plans and never once like complain or say anything. And I think that that's like what Jean and Deanna Nick be talking about is like, what did I say? I meant Deanna and Nick. When you're talking about with Jean is that like the way that she like takes care of them and make sure that they're good. I really truly believe like it doesn't bother her, like she really legit does not care. It's because she wants to make sure that you all are happy, and somehow I got included in there, like to make sure that I'm good, I'm happy. We would go out of town, we were going out of the country, and she's putting money in my hand, or tell me anybody's mother-in-law who gives them money to buy a car. She gave me money to buy a car, y'all. I was like, who does this? What is going on? The only other person who's ever done that besides my husband was my father, bought me a car. And but she saw how much it was needed. And so where she fills in those gaps so effortlessly. And so I just want her to know how much I love and appreciate her. And then Yeah, she really is. She's a sweet person unless you get on her bad side. You have to do something really, really bad to make Jean upset, because she like just doesn't. Yeah, she just doesn't really get upset like that. Not that she doesn't. I'm sure she probably does, but she don't show it to people. But like, and then I want to, from the bottom of my heart, thank my mom. I think that I'm kind of like where Deanna is, except I have a couple more years on Deanna. And so I realized that it was important for me to apologize to my mother and to let her know how sorry I was, because I think we have an expectation for our parents to be great, but I was a horrible child. I was not a good child. And it wasn't like I was just like running crazy and doing all this crazy stuff. It was my attitude towards her, how I spoke to her, how I handled her, how I dealt with her was so disrespectful. And I think about, like, if my children were to do that to me now, I would backslap them just like how she would slap me. And she was trying to correct me and love me and show me that she wasn't my friend, she was my mother. And I'm busy acting like she hates me, and I really thought she didn't like me. And it was just my immaturity of not understanding who she was to be in my life. And so today, I mean, we have the best relationship. I can truly say that my mom is my best friend. Whatever I need. She's I always used to think that she was judgmental. She is a little judgmental, because I kind of got that too going on. But like but she'll still listen, and in her listening, some way or another, she finds a way to bring it back to God. And she's always letting me know that she's always praying for me. She has a prayer buddy, and they be praying. I be feeling some type of way sometimes, because she was like, me and my friend, we were praying for you last night. And I'm like, well, is something wrong? Like, why we praying for me? But like, right. But I need it, and I appreciate it. And I want her to know how much I love and appreciate her for who she is. Not anybody else, not trying to be anything but just her. And by her being that person, that's why I got my glasses on, so you can't see me cry. She I remember when my dad passed, she said, Whitney, it's my turn to take care of you. It's my turn. And so I love my mom so much just for that. So I hope you guys had a great time just kind of listening to us as we chat and as we talk about our experiences being a mother, but also our mothers and how they are such a blessing in our lives. And listen, if you have lost your mother, if you are missing her on this Mother's Day weekend, I want you to know that if you pray, God will send someone in your life to be that empty space, to be that gap, to fill that void that sometimes we feel no one else can fill the shoes of our mothers. And I want this to be a platform to where you can reach out to us. Follow us. We have a podcast, Ladies Takeover Empowerment Podcast, that happens every Thursday. You can email us, hit us up, chat, direct message us. We'll be happy to answer all of your questions, your comments. If you need prayer, we're here. We just want to be another shining light in your life for all of those who need it. So again, this is Ladies Takeover Empowerment Podcast. We'll be back next month with a Father's edition of the same Ladies podcast. So love you all. Until next time. Bye-bye.